Okay, we're about ready to finish the walls on this doghouse. So if you remember, here's what the finished one looks like. What we need to do is add these two end walls. So this is kind of like the back of the doghouse. It has one stud in the middle. You can see we have a bottom plate and a double top plate that ties in with the other wall. On the front of the doghouse, this is where our opening is going to be for the dog to go through. It's 10 inches wide and 12 inches tall. We're going to have two studs there. So the walls are the same, other than this one has two studs and this one has one in the spacing. So it's not too bad. So you should be here. If not, go back to my other video and I'll finish this. Okay, we can reuse some of the stuff on here, but we're going to have to make two new components. The two new components are going to be a bottom plate and one of the top plates. Okay, so let's get going. Now, one thing I've done in the past, kind of messed up on, is you can actually take one of these and edit it and like make it longer. But I found that if you do that, see how these all got highlighted? It'll edit every single one of them. So if I made this shorter, all these will be shorter because they're all the same component. They're all that 1x12, 1x4x12 stud. So you don't want to edit stuff that you already have. You want to make new components. Okay, which isn't bad. Just takes a second. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to draw right here just because it's close to the area that I need it. I'm going to type in 3/4, comma 3.5, enter. All right. So and then I'm going to go ahead and pull it, extrude it, and the width of this is 30 inches, if I remember correctly. All right. Now I'm going to select this, and it's it's kind of a pain that I made it inside of this stud here, but you drag the little box from right to left and select that part. It should select all of it. Oh, maybe it's not. So I made a little mistake here. See how it's not selecting the end? Okay, so that's okay. This is a good learning example. So I'm just going to undo that, and I'm going to draw it so it's not touching anything else, just so it's going in the right direction though. So I'm going to click here, kind of out of the way, and then I'm going to make it again. So 3/4 inches, comma 3.5. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and extrude it with our push-pull tool, 30 inches. Then I'm going to get to where I can select it all. So I'm getting to that angle because I can get a box over the whole thing. And then I'm going to go ahead and paint it. I mean, this is all old news to you guys, but I'm going to go through these steps. I'm going to right click. I'm going to make this a component. It's a 1 by 4 by 30 inches. Say OK. All right, and then I'm going to move it. My move tool, pick this corner. Oops. Go ahead and pick this corner. Snap it in place right there. All right, now I can reuse this. I'm going to use this 1, 2, 3 more times. So that's good. Okay, so now we can use the stuff that we have. So here we go. We're going to use this stud here. We're going to go ahead and copy it and paste it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place it in the midpoint for now, and then I'm going to pick my rotate tool. I'm going to find the top of this and make sure you're picking the top. If you have to zoom in, zoom in. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. So I'm going to wait for it to snap. Come on, right? Ooh, it's lagging a little bit. Right there, it snapped to the red axis. And then I'm going to come over here. Whoa. Kind of out away from it. There, it snapped to the green. I know that's 90 degrees. Now I'm going to go back to my move tool, and I'm going to move that corner to there. Now I can copy that and paste that, and if we're doing, well, let's just do over here first. Now you see it's not going to let me snap to a corner, so I'm just going to place it there, reselect this corner, and then snap it. Okay, if we're doing the back wall, there's a stud in the middle here. So, well, let's do the front wall first, because that one's a little harder. Then you can do the back one on your own if you want. So what I want to do is first I want to go to my tape measure tool. And when I find the midpoint, it should snap and say midpoint right there. I'm going to click and go to the right. I'm not touching my mouse right now. I just clicked and let go and drug to the right. Type in 5, enter. All right. Okay, it didn't show up, but there should be a point there. So one more time. Yeah, ooh, right. About 5 inches over, we should see something happen. Well, that's not showing up for some reason. Maybe you gotta change the angle a little bit. Try a different angle. Okay. Try it again. 5. Enter. Okay, if that's not working, another thing you can do is you can snap a little line across this way. Okay. Let's zoom in on this and try it. Sometimes it can be a little finicky. Alright, it's not quite cooperating with me. So if you're on this issue, it's okay. There's more than one way to skin a cat. So let's just work around it. Go ahead and select your member. Well, just paste it again because we already had it once. And this you can snap it just in a random spot and then select the midpoint. Okay, and then find the midpoint of the board. Oh, there it is. Then what you can do is you can snap it one more time right there to the midpoint and go to the left and type in 5. Oh, but you know what? We want it off of the edge. Okay, so follow along with me here one more time. First off, I'm just going to snap it over here off this midpoint. Then I'm going to select the midpoint. Actually, I'm going to select this edge here. And then I'm going to come over and snap that to the midpoint. Okay, so come on. Oh, there it was. I was being stubborn. Oh, there it was. Okay, so I found the midpoint. I'm going to snap it at that midpoint. I'm going to move it to the left. I'm going to snap it one more time. I'm going to move it to the left. I'm going to type in 5, enter. So now this corner should be 5 inches from the midpoint. So we can even check that. So if I take my tape measure and I find this midpoint right there, and I come over here, and actually it's better to check that with the dimensions. So I'm going to go to my dimensions, and I'm going to snap from there to, come on, my midpoint. Okay, and there it is. Yeah, it's 5 inches. We did it. All right. So one more. So what we can do is we can just copy this, paste it. Okay, I'm just going to move it over here for right now. I'm going to pick this inside corner here. I'm going to find this center, this midpoint. I'm going to click. I'm going to click one more time. I'm going to drag it to the right, type 5, enter. Now we have those perfectly spaced 10 inches wide from the center. So if I were to take my dimensions, whoa, and measure from there to, whoa, oh, I still have the move tool. Okay, so I'll come over here, pick my dimensions. If I were to measure from this inside to this inside, we have 10 inches. Okay. Now we need to add our top plate and all you have to do is click on this board, select it, if it'll let me. Okay, I'm still on the I'm still in my tool, so I'm going to hit spacebar. Now I'm out of the dimension tool. I'm in my select tool. I'm going to click on this board. I'm going to right click. I'm going to copy, paste, and I'm going to go ahead and snap it in place. Okay, so all we have left now to do is to build this board right here, and then we can copy this wall, paste it over there, and rearrange our studs. So I'll do that real quick, but if you want to jump ahead of me, you can. So I'm going to hurry and make one more board. My last one in my walls. Happy day. Okay, once again, this needs to be 3/4 inch, comma, 3.5, enter. Alright, and then I want to use my push-pull tool, extrude it. This distance in here, I can measure it, but I know that it's 23 inches. Okay, it's just an inch under 2 feet. Then I'm going to go ahead and select this. And I want to get to an angle where I can select it all. And I'm going to go ahead and paint it. And then I'm going to name it. So right click, make component. It's a 1x4x23. Say OK. And then I just need to move it in place. Now we have our double top plate. All nice and snug and secure. Now if I want to move this whole wall, here's how you do it. Choose the select tool, hold in shift, and pick every component that you want to move. So I'm basically picking this whole wall. And you know, I only need one of these studs actually. So I selected one of them. Then you copy the whole wall, and then you paste the whole wall. And then you orbit around using clicking in your scroll wheel, and I snap it to this corner. All I need to do now is center this board. So I'm going to hit the space bar, just select the board, select my move tool, find the center of this little stud, and find the center of my bottom plate, or the midpoint of my bottom plate. Oh, there it was. Okay. And now we are finished with all of our walls. Alright, thanks for following along with me on this one. I know I learned a couple things, hope you guys did too. But once you're finished with this, go ahead and move on to the next video.